What is up, everybody? I just got that notification that you are live, which means we're here. It's been a while since I've been here because Jeff Gargas has been taking over, kicking me to the curb and bringing in other people. But today I'm returning that favor. I told Jeff Gargas, literally, the last message I sent him today was just go to bed. Just leave me alone and go to bed. Because today for our brain break, I'm upgrading. Today, I got somebody that's a whole lot more fun here, who's going to be a whole lot more engaging, who's going to let me talk a whole lot more. Well, we'll see about that. But we're going to have some fun. Me and my buddy Adam here are going to have some fun. We're going to encourage you to join us in some games, some quizzes. We're going to see who knows more about Michigan and Ohio because a big game just happened a few weeks ago. But we'll talk about that soon. And we'll talk about a lot of other things happening around the world. So if you're joining us, let us know who you are, where you are. I'm going to get us in here with a little bit of music. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you in just a few seconds. That music still does something to me. It's sort of like hearing Mariah Carey. You know, Christmas is coming. When I hear that music, I know that something good is on the other side, and we're here. So consider you can be my Mariah Carey, Adam. How does that sound? I know
every
something's
day,
good.
Every day for you, Dave.
All right.
I will see you for you though.
Yeah, Adam, I'm super excited to be able to hang out with you for an hour here, buddy.
Yeah, been a while since I talked to you.
I know, but I'm looking forward. We were talking beforehand, and I think the last time that you were here, we were talking golf, we were talking injuries, we were talking like a whole lot of things. It was a while ago, but we're back. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Let's do it.
All right. So do me a favor. I know our ambassadors know who you are. People in Ohio know who you are, but outside of Ohio, people might be looking at the screen saying, "Adam." Who is this Adam guy? That does not look like Jeff Gargas. And again, people, this is not Jeff Gargas. It's the new and improved version.
Well, Adam, just right now I have a little bit more hair than him, but
hey, we're not doing hair jokes today. Come on now, come on. Take a few seconds real quick and just introduce yourself to the world.
I'm a 4th and 5th grade teacher at Community Saint School. It's a Catholic school in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and we're about 175 students, so we've got a great little population going, amazing families, and I'm a Teach Better ambassador. So I've been part of the community for almost 2 years now, ever since Teach Better 19, which is still one of the greatest experiences ever. So get ready for Teach Better 22. It's going to be even greater than that. And I've just been pretty much just snooping around and getting all the great information from all these wonderful educators that are part of the Teach Better community.
That's awesome. And Mel just said, I don't know, but now she does. I can picture Mel sort of being like Elf. Now, next time she sees you, she'll be like, Adam. I know him. It's so good. And be right. She's already stalking you on Twitter. So if there's a way to see all the people that are checking your profile, like on LinkedIn, you'd have some notifications right now. But Mel's good people. She's amazing. So if you don't know Mel, connect with her because she's a rock star. Mel, we're going to get you on here one of these days too. So Adam, we were talking a little bit beforehand, and typically with Brain Break, we don't have an agenda. When Jeff Gargas is in charge, there's absolutely zero prep whatsoever. When Ray or Caitlin are here, normally they've got a whole script and they're following bullet points and making sure they get everything done. When I'm in charge, I'm somewhere in the middle. If I bring on other people, we might be singing songs or humming some ditties. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We'll play a little game. It's not completely scripted, but I think I want to go back to what happened almost 2 weeks ago. and have a similar contest. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say something happened almost 2 weeks ago? What was it, 11 days ago?
Yeah, but it only took 7 years for it to happen under Harbaugh, so you got a lot more catching up to do.
But what happened? I didn't quite hear.
Yeah, okay. After 7 years with Jim Harbaugh as your coach, Michigan finally beat Ohio State.
So Ohio State lost to the University of Michigan.
The state up north.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So Michigan won. Michigan is the Big Ten champion. Michigan is playing in the college football championship bracket, and Ohio State is left as a consolation prize going to the Rose Bowl, right?
Yeah. Okay. Roses smell beautiful.
Okay, it's all
Pasadena
good.
is wonderful this time of year.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It was a good game for about 5 minutes. The other 55 were even better, though. I can't wait till next year. But we're gonna build off of that a little bit. People know that I have this. I don't want to say a love-hate. I just genuinely disdain the state of Ohio, with the exception of some of the people there and the fact that the Teach Better Conference will be there and all that stuff. I'm not a big fan.
We'll allow you in for those 3 days.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah. I'll take it. And that's probably all I can stand. So I'm not a big fan of that state. But like you said, you're not necessarily a big fan of that state to the north. My home, the place where I was born, the place where I spent the bulk of my career. So I thought we'd do a little contest today. I'm going to see if you really genuinely have a disdain for that state, or if you even know that state, if it's just like this preconceived notion that you have that you're just supposed to dislike it. Are you game for a little challenge?
Bring it on.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Okay. So here's the deal. I've got some facts about Michigan and Ohio. I've got them written down for me. I've got them on my other screen here. I'm just going to read the fact. And Adam, I need you to tell me if it's a fact about Michigan or if it's a fact about Ohio. You say you've got this disdain for that amazing state, the Great Lake State, the state that is beautiful 3 months out of the year.
What's
the state that is just
that mean this state?
That state, yeah, absolutely. But I truly don't think you really know it. I think you are just buying into the hype that people in Ohio aren't supposed to like Michigan. So we're going to see what you really know. Are you up for the challenge?
I got no other choice.
All right. So as things go here on Brain Break, every single time I do a game or a quiz, it is always phone a friend friendly. You can always use the audience. You can get all the help you want from people in the comments. People in the comments can type to their heart's content to try to get you to notice what they're trying to say. But with this quiz, it's really only one or the other. It's 50-50. People are either going to say Ohio or Michigan. But your answer is going to be the final answer. And we're going to see what you can do.
Oof.
All right?
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Right.
Question number 1. Which state is home to the Big Ten football champions this year?
I would say Michigan.
Are you're sure? You're sure that Michigan is the Big Ten champions this year?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. That was an easy. That was a softball, just so you can see how this game works. They're all going to be that easy. Okay. All right. Here we go. Which state is home to the first city in America to be fully electrified? Which state had the first city to have electricity? Is it
Cleveland,
Michigan?
Ohio, so it was Ohio.
Or Ohio?
Ohio. It was Cleveland, my hometown.
Well, Cleveland might have been the first electrified city in Ohio. What do you think here? And Mike, you're completely right. I am going to milk this thing because I've been waiting 8 years to milk this. It's not often that I can brag that Michigan is better at anything than anybody. So, yes. So you're saying Cleveland. Hold on, just so we can set the record straight. We're talking stereotypes here. Cleveland has some stereotypes. You're saying Cleveland was this innovative city that's so innovative that it was the first city in America to be fully electrified?
I believe so.
More so than Michigan, cities in Michigan where there's the auto industry and factories and constant innovation.
Which actually, while the headquarters were in Detroit, more cars were produced in Ohio.
Mike's going with some Cleveland rocks. So you're sticking with Ohio. Is that
I'm
what
going with Ohio.
You are correct, sir. It is Ohio. Yes. Ohio is the home to electricity. Who knew? Who knew?
And SpaghettiOs.
And SpaghettiOs. Well, there goes the next question.
Chef Boyardee.
You're right. Absolutely. All right. Let's go on to the next one. This one's interesting. For those of you that are cooking dinner right now, feel free to just go earmuffs. But it's interesting. In one of these two states, either Michigan or Ohio, it is perfectly legal to serve horse meat in restaurants, as long as you have a sign on the door that says, "This restaurant serves horse meat." Is it Michigan or Ohio? In which state are they serving horse meat in their burgers and it's totally legal? Michigan or Ohio?
See, there's some interesting parts of Michigan.
There are interesting parts of Michigan. There are interesting parts of Colorado, too. There are interesting parts of Wyoming.
The Upper Peninsula is a whole different world in Michigan than the lower part.
It is. It's gorgeous.
So I would almost say that would be kind of something that the Yoopers would do.
You're thinking that the Yoopers are raising horses just to eat them? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying raising them to eat them. I think they would. Okay.
Where are they getting the horses from?
Probably Wisconsin. They're kind of weird over there.
Okay. So you got a bunch of Yoopers in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan going into Wisconsin, stealing their horses to eat them.
I'll go with Michigan on that one.
You're going with Michigan as the horse eaters, huh? Well, people in the comments, if you want to give him some guidance on this one, it's an interesting statistic. It's an interesting fact.
Yeah.
It also makes me change some of my eating habits because when I do go up to the north, one of my favorite restaurants to go to when I'm up in the north, I actually went there last time I was in Ohio. It makes me feel like I'm at home because it's got a little piece of nostalgia. It's Bob Evans. You know, Bob Evans
on the farm.
Bob Evans headquartered kind of near you, right?
Exactly.
Because the answer to this question is actually Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Ohio has a law that makes it. There's actually a proactive law here that makes it legal to serve horse meat in restaurants, which makes me wonder about Bob Evans and if it's what makes that sausage gravy so good. So I'm gonna have to look real close for that sign on the door next time.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I did not know that one. See?
Well, now you do.
I'm learning something new.
Next time you go into the restaurants, check out the hours on the door and also check to see if they have a sign that says "We serve horse meat." And if it's one of those things that they advertise with pride. So, sorry, Rebecca. Yet another reason to stay out of Ohio. Yep, I hear you. All right, you ready for another one?
Yes.
Which state is the 10th largest state in terms of population? And Mike, is pony meat like veal? Ew, I don't know. I don't know.
No.
That's a great question, though. Is it like a delicacy? Is it tender? I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
The 10th?
Well, yeah, which state is the 10th largest in terms of population? So you can start thinking through politics a little bit. Which states matter more? Like electoral votes. Which states have more congressmen? Yeah.
I will say, I know
which
we're
state is the 10th
we're like
largest?
11th or 12th, if I remember correctly.
Which one is?
I was like 11th or 12th, so I'm guessing Michigan probably right around there too. So I'll give Michigan this one.
So you think Michigan has more people than Ohio? Because you said Ohio you think is like 11th or 12th, and Michigan is 10th?
Right around there. So and I know Detroit is a large population.
So interesting fact. I'll just break this down for you. When I was born, just outside of Detroit. Detroit had a population of 1.2 million. Yeah. Right now, Detroit's population is about 450,000. And it's still the largest city in Michigan. Also, Michigan, you got Grand Rapids and you've got Flint. Yeah. That's about it. In Ohio, you've got Cleveland, Columbus, Akron, Cincinnati.
Okay, I'm going
Dayton.
Ohio. Going Ohio.
Oh, now you're going to Ohio. You're going to let me
Ohio.
sway you, huh?
You did.
Man, I could have taken Regis Philbin's job back in the day and convinced people to throw away money. And Rebecca, these questions prove why you're not a socialist here. Or you could just say,
or
these
Rebecca,
questions prove that Ohio and Michigan aren't that different after all.
And Rebecca, I am a social studies teacher.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, okay, I'm sorry. You said Michigan, then you went to Ohio, but you went to Ohio because I convinced you with some other statistics.
Okay, Detroit may be 450,000, but the population around it may be larger. All the suburbs.
That's true. There are a lot of suburbs. I know
your airport's busier than ours.
Yep, it is the third busiest in the country. That's true because a lot of people pass through on their way other places. Yep. Yeah. Not sure how that helps us figure out the population, but that's okay. Yeah.
Well, it seemed like a bigger need for an airport for a larger population.
Oh, look at this. Look at these statistics. Mike coming in clutch.
Well, then just a quick glance,
I can see that Ohio has a bigger population than Michigan. So now let's see if Adam can count real quick.
Well, yeah, because it's 2 million people more.
So which one is the 10th?
Ohio.
So according to the list Mike just gave us, California is 1, Texas is 2,
yeah,
New York is 3, Pennsylvania is 4, Illinois is 5, Ohio is 6, Georgia is 7.
So it is Michigan. It is Michigan.
8. According to this one, Michigan is 9. However, there is one missing from this list, which is interesting, and maybe we'll leave that one to the viewers to figure out which one it is.
Michigan.
It is indeed Michigan. Yes.
I was right the first time, then the second time. No.
All right. I'll give you 2 more questions, and then I want to transition to some other cool things that our viewers can really participate in. And Jillian is in the house representing Florida. Yes. All right. Love it. All right. So 2 more questions. Are you ready for this? Which state has a state bird of the robin?
Well, that's Michigan.
Michigan is the robin. You said that like, yeah, of course it's the robin. Why? Why makes you think that?
Cardinal. Ohio's the Cardinal.
Where's the Cardinal?
Ohio.
Is that why Ball State's the Cardinal?
Or Indiana. We didn't talk about them.
So I'm confused then.
It's the Cardinal.
Okay, so Ohio is the Cardinal.
Multiple states have the Cardinal for some reason.
Okay, and you're saying that Michigan is the robin.
Yes.
Although the robin is only in Michigan for like 3 months out of the year. Because it's a migratory bird.
It's all they can handle.
Yeah, and you are absolutely correct. Yes, it is indeed Michigan. Yes, it is. Okay, last question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you go ahead. You go ahead.
You sure?
A little fact about Ohio. Go ahead.
Okay. This is my last question, and you throw all the facts at me that you want. All right. The last question. This is an easy question. Which state is considered the rubber capital of the world?
That would be Akron, Ohio.
It is Ohio. Yes.
Yes. See?
Ohio is the state where everybody says, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. They originated that comment, and they own it. They truly do own it because Ohio is a state of rubber people. Yeah, absolutely. Nice job, Adam. You did pretty well there.
I missed like one.
Yeah.
But Ohio is also, I think, maybe one other state that has its own rock song.
Oh, yes, it does have its own rock song. Yeah.
Hang on, Sloopy.
Hang on, Sloopy, which I played that when I was like in 7th grade band, and I had no idea what it meant, and I still have no idea what it means today.
I watched a whole documentary on it. It still got me confused.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, what was the other one I would say? The first band to actually do Script Ohio was Michigan.
That's because we know how to write in cursive.
Yeah, you guys wrote actually sideways.
Well, whatever. It all works.
It was like you were welcoming Ohio State to Michigan, I think. And also Woody Hayes, the former coach of Ohio State, never would spend a dime in Michigan. He always told bus drivers, fill up in Toledo before you go into Michigan. We're not giving them any money.
That's amazing. See, I love that kind of rivalry. I love it when you can have that healthy hatred, right?
Yeah, that's like it makes it punch a player.
Well, there's that. Well, so details. You had to keep going, didn't you, Adam? Come on.
Hey,
It's all
we
good.
took it
No,
seriously.
I appreciate you letting me do that. I just wanted to see if you truly did understand the state that you professed to dislike as strongly as you do. I definitely know a lot about Ohio. I get to spend a lot of time there, and I'll be honest with you, I like the people, hate the state. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Healthy hatred. Yes, Jillian, I said it. Healthy hatred. Hashtag. Let's let that trend. Healthy. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. But I wanted to also talk to you a little bit about a book that I'm reading right now. Are you a big reader, Adam? No. Okay. You teach social studies. It's okay. We understand. I was a social studies teacher as well.
And reading.
But I've reignited my love for reading over the last year or two, and I've just been consuming books that are like, I'm geeking out on tons of books lately. And I know that quite a few people are going to have a 2-week vacation coming up really, really soon, a little 2-week break. A lot of people are going to start New Year's resolutions, and a lot of people have New Year's resolutions about reading books and trying to dive into learning new things. So I wanted to talk about a book that I've been reading lately. And it's not like an educational book. It's not a book that's about teaching and learning, but it's still an incredible book. I'll hold it up for everybody so you can see it. It's called Factfulness. Factfulness it's written by a guy named Hans Rosling, and it is incredible. It's incredible. The basic premise of the book is that we don't understand the world that we live in, that we have all these preconceived notions of what's really happening because of what we see and what we're bombarded with on a daily basis. But the facts tell us a completely different picture. They tell us something completely different than what we thought we knew. And since we just started off with a little quiz to see if we really knew our states, I thought maybe we could take a quiz that Hans Rosling throws in his book and in all of his talks. I think it's a 12-question quiz about the world. It's all multiple choice, and we'll let the people in the commenters help us with this as well. Every single question is three multiple choice questions. It's A, B, or C. We can choose A, B, or C for every question. I'll actually share the screen with us so you can see the questions in real time, and we can have a conversation about what we're seeing and try to figure it out. Now, I've read the book, so I actually know the answers. So I'm going to try my best to not sway people one way or another, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to see people in the comments share their thoughts, and then we can just talk about why we might think the world is different than it really is. Fair enough?
Let's do it again.
All right, so let me pull up this. Cool. Can we see it? It says,
I can see it.
Excellence. Look at that. Crazy technology. I actually did that. Woo-hoo. I'm proud of myself.
Without Jeff's help.
Right, I know. Tell him, go to bed.
Who needs them anymore, right?
Well, I've been saying that for a long time. So I'm glad we got confirmation of it now. Okay, so let me click start, and we'll see if it changed. It did. Okay. So it says, in low-income countries across the world today, how many girls finish primary school? So in low-income countries across the world today, how many girls finish primary school? And option A is 20%, option B is 40%, option C is 60%. What percentage of girls in low-income countries finish primary school? So in the comments, people, let us know your thoughts. 20, 40, or 60. What percentage of girls in low-income countries finish primary school? What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Adam? I see Jillian says she thinks it's B.
Yeah, I'm thinking around B, 40%.
You're thinking around 40% as well? Okay.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind? Why are you thinking maybe 40?
Well, you don't have a lot of access to education.
Okay.
I still think it's valued, so I don't think it's going to be 20%. But 60% seems too high, so I think it's 40%. I think it's still going to be nearly half. So yeah, let's say 40%.
Okay, fair enough. So I see another person, Facebook user. I'm sorry, I don't have my phone up to figure out who the Facebook user is. Also says B. You're saying B. Jillian says 20% sounds so low, but it could be.
Jillian.
Okay, so you're going with B,
40.
The 40%. Okay. And now before we do this, just a quick statistics lesson. Again, all of these are going to have 3 possible choices, right? So A, B, or C, which means statistically we've got a 33% chance of getting all of these correct. Right. So in the book, he says if he were to throw 3 bananas into a cage filled with chimpanzees and on one banana it said A, the other one said B, and the other one said C, there would be a 1 in 3 chance that the chimpanzees would pick the correct banana. So 33% would be like the average score for getting any of these things correct. So just I'm throwing that out there before we keep going. So when we finish this, we can see your final score. So you said 40%. Let's go on to the next question. All right. This one says, where does the majority of the world population live? Where does the majority of the world population live? A is in low-income countries, B, middle-income countries, and C, high-income countries. Where does the majority of the world's population live? Low income, middle income, or high income? Interesting.
It's so difficult for what technically is considered all these levels.
Oh, yet another great question. Like, how do we even define
How do you
low
determine
income,
what's
right?
a low income, middle income, and high income?
All right. So Mel A is saying middle. Jillian is also saying middle, going with B again. Okay. What's going through your mind here? You're saying low. Okay.
I think you gotta look at the populations of, I mean, there's parts of like India that are wealthy, but
Sure.
is it maybe a lower income?
Great question.
Is it, I mean,
so great question.
Without that information,
I would define low, middle, and high. I love it.
And you got large parts of Africa, which are considered third world.
No, you have the deciding vote here.
So I'm going low income.
You're going with low income. Got it. All right. Let's go to next. In the last 20 years, the proportion of the world population living in extreme poverty has almost doubled, remained more or less the same, or been dropped almost in half. So what has happened over the last 20 years to the proportion of the world population living in extreme poverty?
Probably there's a large gap of like income and spreading that out. So I would probably say almost doubled.
You think it's almost doubled? Okay, and that's what Jillian's saying the same thing. She's saying last 20 years she thinks it's almost doubled as well. Let's put that down and see what it says. All right. What is the life expectancy of the world today? The
Not
world
United States.
today. So is it 50 years, 60 years, or 70 years?
70.
You're thinking 70.
Medical advances, technology.
It's interesting too when you think about
medical care.
When you think about some of your other answers too, like where does the majority of the world population live, right? What does education look like?
I say 70.
You're saying 70. Facebook user also said 70. Mel A said 60. But you're saying with 70?
I'm saying with 70.
Okay, fair enough. And we keep on going. All right, this one's an interesting one, so you got to think it through real quick. There are 2 billion children in the world today, aged 0 to 15. 2 billion children aged 0 to 15. Ooh. How many children will there be in the year 2100, according to the United Nations? So basically, fast forward 80 years. If there's 2 billion children in the world today, how many will there be in 80 years? 4 billion, 3 billion, or 2 billion?
I'll still say about 2 billion.
So you think the number of children is going to flatline?
Flatline because they're actually saying that newer couples are not having children because of cost, and I'll still say 2 billion.
So your thinking right now is fascinating to me. So I'm just going to break this down for people, and feel free to pick this apart if it's not accurate. So one of your early responses about where does the majority of the world live was not necessarily based off of what it's like in the United States or Western culture. You were talking about African countries and India and China. Right now, though, you're speaking about the world population growth through the Western mindset of education and employment, which is fascinating to me. Okay, but you said 2 billion.
But at the same time, it's like, I know the laws are changing in China regarding children.
It's true.
So I would say if fewer people in the Western world are having children, but they're going to allow more in China, it could almost balance itself out to 2 billion.
So right now there's 2 billion. Your guess is that it will still be 2 billion in 80 years.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're saying. All right. Now here's
I'm
an
not signed up
interesting.
for this.
The UN predicts that in that same year, 2100, the world population will have increased by another 4 billion people. Okay. So now the entire world population is going to increase to 4 billion. What's the main reason for that?
Well, now
That
if I
there'll be
just found
more
myself off
children?
number 1.
Well, you already said there's not going to be more children.
Yeah.
So we're going to eliminate that unless you want to hedge your bets and say it's that one now. Or is it because there'll be more adults aged 15 to 74? Or is it because there'll be more old people greater than 75 years old? So they're predicting that there will be 4 billion more people. The question is why? Is it because there'll be more kids, more adults in the middle, or more older?
Well, they're saying there's 2 billion now.
No,
So
this is...
I'm saying like I'm just looking at the 115. There's 2 billion. That won't change over the time. Almost more people who are considered older would probably stay healthier.
So again, trying to think through your other answers when you talk about life expectancy.
Yeah.
So does that mean you think more people will live beyond 75? Do you think that means that there will be more kids being born? Does that mean that infant mortality is going to go down?
Yeah.
Does that mean, there's so many questions here. Jillian is going with the spread, 15 to 74. That's a bigger age range.
I'm still thinking it's going to be older people.
All right, so you're going, there'll be more very old people.
75 and older.
Okay. Question 7. How did the number of deaths per year from natural disasters change over the last 100 years? So you start thinking about Hurricane Katrina and earthquakes and tsunamis and things like that. So what has happened with natural disasters in the number of deaths per year over the last 100 years? Have they more than doubled? Have they remained the same? Or have they been decreased to less than half? So natural disaster deaths over the last 100 years,
disaster of
more than doubled, remained the same, or decreased to less than half. And right now you're saying this is supposed to be a brain break, Dave. What's going on? Right? I know.
I'm going to say more than doubled because people are living in more densely populated areas along coast, like tsunamis.
That's interesting.
Hurricanes.
So more people are living near the coast, so you think more than doubled
more
are at risk.
coastal.
Jillian's actually, I think this might be the first time she's not said B. Jillian's now saying she's saying C on this one, which completely blows my mind. Okay.
And I think more densely populated, and those are lower income areas. I mean, I have structurally sound places.
So you're saying more than doubled?
More than doubled.
Okay. More than doubled it is. Don't worry, people. You'll get the opportunity to see the answers. Now, this one, if you're only listening right now, you might want to pause for a second so you can see the screen, because I can try to describe it, but I'm not going to do it justice. So on this one, it says there are roughly 7 billion people in the world today. Where do they live? So we got this visual representation of how the 7 billion people are distributed. Option A is 1 billion between the Americas, 1 billion in Europe, 1 billion in Africa, and 4 billion in Asia. B has 1 billion in the Americas, 1 billion in Europe, 2 billion in Africa, and 3 billion in Asia. And C has 2 billion in the Americas, 1 billion in Europe, 1 billion in Africa, 3 in Asia. So where do you think the people are living? Facebook user says C. Facebook user thinks there's 2 billion people living in the Americas and 3 billion in Asia. And then that Europe and Africa are about the same. Jillian is saying A, that she thinks there's 1 billion in Africa, 1 billion in Europe, 1 billion in North America, and then everybody else is in Asia.
It seems like all those international ones to be a millionaire where they purposely put people give the wrong answers.
Mel saying C. And for the record, Mel is from down under, now living in Colombia. So she's been a world traveler, and she's saying probably C. But Jillian is again reminding us that geography is not her jam. And Stamper is saying pick the one where 1 billion is in Europe, which is all of them. Well played, sir. Well played.
Thanks, Josh. Anyway,
where do you think people are living?
I'm thinking there's one.
So you have to decide, I guess, really. Do you think there's 2 billion people in the Americas? Do you think there's 4 billion people in Asia? Do you think there's 2 billion people in Africa? You're going with C. Okay.
I'm doing B and C. Yeah. We'll go.
You said C?
Yeah, C.
Okay, C it is. All right. Question 9. And I guess I think there's 12, so we're getting there, people. Question 9. How many of the world's 1-year-old children have been vaccinated against disease? Okay. How many of the world's 1-year-old children have been vaccinated? 20%, 50%, or 80%? How many have been vaccinated?
Doctors Without Borders is a huge program.
Yeah. And again, thinking about the distribution of where people live, thinking about low income, middle income, high income.
There's a strong focus on the lower income. And
what percentage of the world has been vaccinated? Jillian's saying A. Again, this is the world that we're talking about. So
some disease. I feel like C.
You think 80% has been vaccinated. You said it and you sat back. This is the first one you sat back. I don't know if that means like you just have no confidence or you're like dropping the mic like I know this one.
I just feel like there's it's because
it
says some disease, not all disease. So it says some
that have received a vaccination against disease. Yeah.
So it could be like malaria. It could be polio. Could be.
Yeah. So we got 2 people that have said A.
I still say 80.
And you're saying 80. All right, I'm just going to stop for a second just to see if any other comments come in just so we can make sure we hear from everybody. Again, the question is, how many of the world's 1-year-old children have been vaccinated against some disease? So not how many of the world's children, just 1-year-old children. So far, everybody in the comments has said A. Okay, but Adam is saying 80?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Megan.
Going against the grain, sir. Strong will. I like it. Let's move on. All right. Worldwide, 30-year-old men have spent 10 years in school on average. How many years have women of the same age spent in school? So worldwide, 30-year-old men have been in school for about 10 years. How long have women of the same age been in school worldwide? 9, 6, or 3 years? 9 years, 6 years, or 3 years? If men on average are in school for 10 years, worldwide, women are in school for how many years?
3 years seems way too few.
So we got, Ray Heward's popping in. Hey, Ray. Ray, feel free to play along. Jillian is going with B.
I'm thinking, but then I'm thinking maybe women are getting educated and opportunities. Let's go with 9.
You're going with 9. Ooh. Oh, Ray is saying 6.
That's Ray.
Jillian said 6.
It's Ray though, so
just for the record, I don't know if this is considered mansplaining or not, but we have a man on here saying no, women have been educated, and 2 women saying 6. All right, fair enough. I'm going with what Adam said.
Made me feel worse now.
All right, that's my goal today. So you said 9.
Yes.
Okay. Question 11. Again, we're almost there, people. I know, isn't that a cute picture of a rhino, first of all? That's so cute. Okay. In 1996, giant pandas and black rhinos were listed as endangered. How many of those species are more critically endangered today? 2 of them, so both of them, 1 of them, or none of them. So in 1996, giant pandas, tigers, and black rhinos were listed as endangered. How many of them are more critically endangered today? 2, 1, or none?
None.
Ooh. And Jillian, it's not a final exam. This is a formative. So you have the opportunity to learn. We'll test again. I'm not going to judge you for any of this. Okay. But you said none. Jillian said none. So none of those animals are still endangered. Okay.
Yeah.
You're sticking with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, go back to the question.
In 1996, tigers, giant pandas, and black rhinos were all listed as endangered. How many of these species are more critically endangered today?
more critically.
More
I mean,
critically.
it seems like either they're at that level,
So their surroundings
or have gotten better.
not supported them, correct?
So I say none. I think they haven't gotten worse on.
So you say none. Okay. Okay. Let's do what it says. And you live in the home of electricity, right? So how many people in the world have some access to electricity? 20%, 50%, or 80%? Again, thinking about where the world lives. What percentage of the world has access to electricity? 20, 50, or 80? I think you need some help with this one, people. Because it's difficult, right? We've got this confirmation bias where we think about our world and our reality and what we see and what we know. Maybe what we see on TV. And is that an accurate picture of what the rest of the world looks like?
I'm trying to envision like the pictures from like the space station.
Where they show you're trying to picture where all the lights are.
Yeah.
Which is difficult because it's only nighttime on half the world at a time.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And there are large parts of the world that's desert and ocean. That's okay. Fair enough. So the question again, what percentage or how many people in the world have some access to electricity? And the options are 20, 50, or 80. Mel says that 20 seems low.
I agree with that.
Doesn't mean it's not accurate. Just means it seems low.
I'm sticking with 80.
You're sticking with 80. Ooh, okay. All right, I'm going to pause for a second again just to see if anybody wants to come back at you.
Now I'm going to feel so bad.
2, 1. Oh, there's more questions. I'm sorry. I thought there was 112. I apologize. Okay. Whew. Okay. Oh, this is the last question. I know. Okay. This is the last question. Global climate experts believe that over the next 100 years, the average temperature will get warmer, remain the same, or get colder. So global climate experts believe that over the next 100 years, the average temperature will get warmer, remain the same, or get colder. And yes, Jillian, odd number questions, 13. Would you have felt better if there were 14? Because I can come up with another question for you if you'd like, Jillian.
I'm going to say get colder.
You're saying get colder. Okay. So everybody that's answered so far has said warmer, but you're going with colder.
I never want to stay with everybody else.
I see that. Okay. So before I click see results, I've locked in your answer. Statistically, so we just took this 13 question quiz. The average number of questions that people answer correct is 14%. 14%, which is bizarre. This last question is the only one that gets close to what a chimpanzee would pick. So remember we said a chimpanzee, 33% of the time, they would get the right answer. This is the only one that a chimpanzee would, or that Americans or people, I shouldn't even say Americans, worldwide, that people get close to what a chimpanzee gets, which is close to 33%. Adam, unfortunately, you got this one wrong. But you got a lot of other ones correct. Let's see those results real quick. Remember, the average is 14%. Your score, 46%. The average score today is 40. So you got 46% correct. Let's go through. Do you want to just see the answers real quick?
Let's do it.
Okay. So in all low-income countries around the world today, how many girls finish primary school? 60%.
That's good.
60%.
Yeah.
Where does the majority of the world population live? Middle-income countries. And I know you were having this debate, like what is low income, what is high income, what's a middle income? And the book breaks all that down. But I can break it down for you here as well. 109 countries represent middle income, which is, it's all there. You can read it later on. In the last 20 years, the proportion of world population living in extreme poverty has been almost cut in half.
Wow. Nothing so negative. Sorry.
So it's interesting. No, it's interesting because these first few questions, right? We look at it and there's a lot of them that we're not necessarily getting right here. But that's the reality of what most people do as well. Most people would say it seems like poverty is increasing. It seems like the world is quote unquote falling apart. But when we look at comparisons and we look at trends, things are actually getting better in a lot of places. When you start talking about world poverty, it's been cut almost in half in 20 years. In 20 years.
How the media throws it out there to us.
Well, that's part of it, but it's only a small part of it. And we can talk more about that in just a second too. The life expectancy of the world today, boom, you nailed this. And I think this was the first one when you bucked the trend. Yeah, worldwide, the life expectancy is now 70, which is crazy worldwide. So that means in high income countries, aka America, Canada, it far surpasses 70.
Like 76 or something like that.
It's pushing, it's pushing 80. 2 billion children in the world today, age 0 to 15. What's going to happen in 80 years? You are exactly correct. It's staying the same, which a lot of people tend to think linear. They say, oh, it's growing, it's growing and growing. It's going to continue on that. Actually, no, it has been growing, but like you said, it's leveling off for a lot of reasons. Education being a prime reason, higher incomes being a prime reason, more women having access to the workforce, another reason. So yeah, 2 billion, and fewer agricultural communities that rely on having a lot of kids. Also, low income families with poverty decreasing. It used to be, and this is a horrible thought, but it's the reality. It used to be when infant mortality was extremely high in low income communities, families would have a lot of kids to try to hedge their bets because they wanted to have a couple of kids that could carry on the legacy and help around the house and around the community. So they would have to have a lot of kids knowing that 20 or 30% of them might not make it. Now with infant mortality decreasing, they don't need that. Now extra kids equals an extra mouth to feed. So they're decreasing that. So interesting. Question 6, where are the 4 billion people coming from? More of us, more middle-aged people. That's all it is. More middle-aged people, not more kids, not more older people.
Should have gone with the
range. Yeah. Yep. 7, how did the number of deaths per year from natural disasters change? Decreased to less than half.
Wow.
Right? Again, with people coming out of poverty, we're able to design better. We're able to have better facilities for people. We're able to now have greater access to go and intervene in emergency situations and provide treatments and provide medical interventions, helicopters and planes and medical support, greater access to water and nutrition, all sorts of things that help with that. Where are all the people living? Bum, bum, bum. 1 billion in Americas, 1 billion in Europe, 1 billion in Africa, 4 billion
I was thinking of that.
in Asia and Oceania. The answer was A, which is interesting as well when you start thinking about what is going on with the global economy. Where should people be targeting their resources if they're trying to make a buck?
India and China.
There you go. How many of the world's 1-year-old children have been vaccinated against some disease? Adam, you were spot on with this one. 80%. 80%. That, I'll be honest, when I read this was the statistic that blew my mind because I've got this bias based off of what I hear and what I see a lot. Mm-hmm. I would have never thought this was 80%. But the access to medical intervention worldwide has increased dramatically. Worldwide, 30-year-old men have spent 10 years in school. What about women? Boom. Adam, you told those women what was up. You know how they're being educated more than they do. Well played, sir. It is 9 years.
I'll walk away.
9 years.
I'm done now.
Costanza out.
Sorry, Ray.
Tigers, giant pandas, black rhinos. How many of them are still endangered? How many are more critically endangered? None. Their environments are improving. How many people in the world have access to some electricity? 80%. And last but not least, the world is warming up.
I thought it was too simple for that last one.
Right? You started second guessing and thinking it through. But anyway, the book it's fascinating. So the Factfulness, again, is the book. It lists all that out, but then it goes through and it explains why we get so many of these things wrong. And he actually says, a lot of people are going to immediately say it's the media. The media is trying to trump tragedies and say that tragedies are happening all over the place. But most of the time they're reporting factual information. They're not making up the stories. That's a piece of it, though. And they're obviously not going out and necessarily celebrating all the good news. They're not out there celebrating 80% of the world being vaccinated and poverty being cut in half. They're talking about the disasters that happen. Absolutely, that's part of it. But he also goes through and talks about how we do all these things in our day-to-day life as well. That we tend to look for the negative. We tend to look for the numbers that distort reality. Michigan and Ohio State. We might just look at one statistic and say, I hate Ohio because Lake Erie caught on fire 50 years ago. So it's got to be this gross place. Well, no, it's actually kind of pretty.
Yeah.
I hate Ohio
you
because
can take Toledo back though.
fair enough. I hate Ohio because they're allowed to serve horse meat in their restaurants. Well, yeah, they can, but that doesn't mean they have to. But we tend to paint these generalizations on people and places because of our implicit bias.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's just, I thought that this book has been fascinating to me. It's kind of slapped me across the face a ton when I recognize how I see the world isn't necessarily the way the world is. And it forces change and allows me to say, I need an awakening. So I don't know, not necessarily a brain break, but I thought it was powerful and interesting. If people are looking for a book to read, Factfulness, go get it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah,
well, you did pretty well there, Adam. You're smarter
above
than the average bear.
Above the average. So.
You're above the average.
I'm an above average guy.
Yeah, there you are. I guess Ohio has treated you well. Well done. And you represented social studies teachers everywhere. You were nervous at the beginning there, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh boy.
And Jillian, I agree. Feel free to share these things. All you got to do is go to factfulnessquiz.com. And you can have your friends, family, everybody take the quiz. Even if they don't want to read the book, just go to factfulnessquiz.com and you can take the quiz and then get all the statistics behind it as well. It's pretty cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. So Adam, what do you got going on this week? I know we're already middle of the week here and 2 more work days ahead of us. Anything cool? Are you able to golf right now or is it just way too cold and snowy?
It's supposed to be 60 on Saturday. So
sweet. So does that mean possibly?
Maybe driving range at least.
Really? Are you like a year-round guy? You get out and do something all year?
We've had a lot more indoor like simulators opening in our area, so I might have to hit that up sometime soon during break. But no, if I can get out to South Carolina and enjoy those places,
come down here.
Okay.
Come see me.
The
last time I golfed was when I beat Jeff Gargas. That was a year and a half ago, man. So
easy to do though.
You can, yeah, it was super easy to do. You can come down and you can actually show me how to do it legitimately, so that I can start beating other people. Because to be honest, I've got like a 6-year-old that I kind of felt like I was playing against my 6-year-old back then. So
then let's do it.
All right, yeah, let's make it happen. Because we got a conference coming up in less than a year, and I am expecting to get out on a course or something sometime around while I'm up there. We got to go get some golf balls together. So you got to give me some pointers so I don't embarrass myself in front of everybody.
I can expense it, right?
Done. Are you planning on going to the conference?
Oh, am I going? Yes. First day, bud.
Okay.
Bought my ticket the first day.
Oh, you already got your ticket?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Last
took advantage of that early bird.
For the one that was canceled, I was the first registrant.
Look at you. Boom.
I wasn't the first one this year. Has some technical issues, but
that's all right. That's all right. And Brandon knows Pensacola does have great golf courses. She actually came down to visit this summer. Her husband went golfing basically in my backyard. So take it from her. It's true. Come on down and visit. But yeah, the conference, I'm super excited about it. And I was joking about it, but I may as well plug it right now. Early bird registration. I don't know if it's still happening or not, but I'll just tell you, if it's not and you try to do it, just send Jeff an email and say, Dave said I could still get it. So $100 off. He should have been here and he could have corrected me. $100 off the registration if you register for the conference. So sign up for that bad boy and lock it in your place. Buy yourself a Christmas present. Buy yourself some sort of present right now and say you deserve it. And then
you get to see me.
There you go. And then you can see Adam. And you got 10 months then to figure out the logistics. Just buy the ticket before it sells out. I would hate for you to say, I'm going to wait and do this in June or July and then not have any tickets left. So buy your ticket, especially when you can get $100 off, and we'll figure out the rest later on. So do what you got to do.
And it's not just a conference; it's an experience.
Boom! I'm gonna start having you do some commercials. That's awesome. Jillian said she got hers, and she's coming all the way up from Florida. So awesome, Jillian. Looking forward to hanging out with you as well. So, Adam, this has been fun, man. I appreciate you letting me put you on the spot, grill you a little bit, open up other people's eyes. I know it wasn't quite the break that we were looking for, but I think it was not necessarily work related. It's like sitting down and watching a documentary on Netflix, right?
And it's all free.
And it was all free. Absolutely. And it was a distraction for those of you that are cooking or driving home. Hopefully we distracted you a little bit. I'll remind everybody, tomorrow morning, Daily Drop-In is back. It's back every single morning, Monday through Friday. So check out Ray and company, Daily Drop-In. You can also check the replays all throughout the day. Brain Break is back next week. I think in 2 weeks, I have to look at my calendar to make sure this is correct, but I think in 2 weeks, we're doing our annual bracket. I'm introducing it to the mastermind community the day before. And this year's bracket is the best quotes from the movie Christmas Vacation. So I've got a list of 32 of the best quotes from that movie, and they're going to go head to head and do battle. And we'll see which ones are crowned the winners at Mastermind on that Tuesday. And then we'll bring them to Brain Break on that Wednesday. So are you a Christmas Vacation fan?
Yes.
Right?
How are you?
Right.
Not?
Yeah. I mean, you've got blood in your veins. So yes, you're.
I mean,
do you have a favorite line?
Or has to be a Christmas story.
Say that again.
It has to be a Christmas story first.
Okay, that's yeah.
Cleveland Connection. I'll tell you that one.
Yeah.
And then it's like Christmas Vacation.
Now,
after that,
if I were to say for you to choose your favorite quote and make sure that it was appropriate, which can be a struggle with that movie, but there are some good ones. Do you have a favorite quote or favorite scene from the movie?
It's always my favorite line is always when it's not appropriate, but Cousin Eddie.
Oh, when Cousin Eddie is emptying the tank, if you will.
It's full.
The thing is full.
Full,
Yeah,
yes.
I know exactly which scene you're talking about. I'll share a couple of my favorites just so people can plan ahead and anticipate what is to come. Let me add this.
I was the one the branch flies right straight through the neighbor's window.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Looks great. Little full. A lot of sap. Eat my rubber. There's so many of them here. Do you hear it? It's a funny squeaking sound. And with all of these quotes, because it's such a great movie, you can picture the scene in the movie. So I love it. So we're going to go through. We've got 32 of those, so we can figure out what the best quote is, the most iconic line from that movie. So join us in a couple weeks, and we'll have some fun. Also going to be an ugly sweater kind of night. So we'll see if Jeff is wearing some sort of Ohio gear, and I don't know what I'll be wearing. So I only wear nice things. So, Adam, again, it's been absolutely amazing.
This is being recorded probably, so I will say this: Go Blue. Just for the national championship, so it stays in the Big Ten.
I'm not saying another thing. I'm sending us out with that. Bye, everybody.